What's going on, guys? Bruce here with Bullish Currency, back at you with another Bitcoin update, guys. And as you can see from my last updates, as expected, we were forming a head and shoulders pattern, a bearish pattern, and we started to see it decline. But before we get into all the news, good news, bad news, and what to expect next, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because you never know which update, which is going to be a huge help at the right time. And don't forget, everything we talk about here is strictly just for education and entertainment purposes only. It is not financial advice. You do your own due diligence. Be careful out there. There's a lot of blood in these crypto streets these days. So definitely be careful out there, but there's still profits to be made. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you can see, Bitcoin has been on a very fast decline, and as I expected it would be. We talked about this in previous videos, and if you're a part of the bullish currency community, we've been talking about this since the last time it made its all-time high. I was already saying I wasn't convinced, and we're going to get into why in a minute with the chart analysis. But real quick, let's take a look over here. As you can see, everything is just red across the board as far as numbers are concerned that we look at. And as you can see with the holders, though, we have made a pretty good leap, these last 2 days. But I want you to look at the days before that. We actually were fluctuating, right? We did have people kind of just, fall off of the train, decide to not be a part of the army anymore. So that means something. Let's go ahead and take a look at the monthly overall. Oh, sorry, clicked on the wrong one. Here we go. Okay, so it has just been pretty much very consistent around this number. So I'm very interested to see what happens during this this bear market we have this next month. Let's see the 3 month. I keep clicking on the wrong one. Yeah, same, right? So these last 7 days are really interesting, especially here where it was kind of seesawing back and forth. Yeah, so I'm very curious what these numbers are going to look like the next couple of weeks for sure. So look where you are on the weekly with the chart. We made that all-time high. Everybody was screaming 100K, 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 but I wasn't convinced. And the reason why is because, as you can see, after it broke through this previous all-time high, the candles, the way they started to close, dojis, we had small little bulls. Nothing was convincing me that this is really just going to start exploding, but it also wasn't convincing me at that point that it's going to just fall. But then we had this candle right here, this big old bearish engulfing candle. Now, every time we get a bearish engulfing candle from a new high, typically with Bitcoin, we do see a little bit more bearish movement, at least a candle or two more after. And you can see that it actually did, but a lot more. And the way it actually came back down to retest this this level right here around 42, it actually bounced up immediately and actually formed the right shoulder for this potential HNS head and shoulders pattern that was forming. That's what the right shoulder confirmed it. And as you can see, it broke the neckline with this candle. And then this next candle simply just retested. And then we just had a continuation, right? As expected, if it is a successful head and shoulders and a successful break of the neckline, as expected, it would just continue that direction. So that's why I told everybody it's probably going to go down to 33K. And this is where we basically are at the moment. Very close to 33K. We can go as low as 29. But here's what's really interesting. I'm not sure if I shared this in the last videos. Here's what's really interesting is that on the monthly, around the same level that it's at right now, we had a giant reaction where it made a new all-time high. So can history repeat itself where it respects this level and reacts the way it did? History repeats itself and we bounce off the support level and go all the way back up to the resistance level, or it disrespects it and breaks it. And that is very much a possibility. So 9 days left on this monthly candle. I'm very interested to see how it closes. Is it going to actually break this level? We'll only know when the candle closes. Now, if this is a giant double top, M pattern, whatever you want to call it, that will signify that we're probably going to keep going down. which is pretty crazy because we're talking about the 786 area from last low to the last high, which is typical. That does happen in crypto a lot, 50 to 70% retracement. So that would mean we can even touch 11,000 area, anywhere from 10 to 16K. That would be absolutely crazy and devastating for a lot of people, but also an amazing opportunity at the same exact time to capitalize on. So 11K is not, 10K is not out of the realm of possibility at all. And that would be crazy because if it did come back up to regain its all-time high and surpass it as it has done in the past, it's going to fly past it as it's done in the past and really go to 100K. So if we can somehow get a nice, even where it is right now, if it respects, that's, you know, from here to 100K is a nice 3x move. But if it does drop down to 10K, 11K, that is a nice 10x potential move because the predictions of it going to 100K is definitely going to come true. Next time it breaks that 70K all-time high that it made, it's most likely going to make a run to 100K. I mean, to 100K straight, more than likely, without slowing down. Kind of like how it went from, you know, 10K, whatever, 12K to 70K. Like it just went straight. So when it does break this previous all-time high, it's most likely going to continue as usual. So we're really interested to see how this candle closes in 9 days, right? Is it going to break? And if it breaks, what is the next candle going to do? Because that's very vital. The next candle breaks. What's the next candle going to do? Sometimes it just continues. Sometimes it comes back and retests. So we'll see. We'll pay attention. I'll update as much as I can. But as you can see, we are very much correct with the last videos. 33K. We're here basically. Let's see what happens next. Don't panic, right? Just be smart. Know what you're doing. Do your research. Do your due diligence. And that's it for today's Bitcoin update, guys. Stay tuned for more. Until the next one, stay blessed and stay bullish.